everybody? Today is nothing less and nothing more than a Saturday. Alright, and we are back to the weekend. What do you mean we're back to the weekend? I mean, don't we have a weekend every freaking week? And, well, you might be surprised. Yeah, we have one every week. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you, first of all, for watching me on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV, on your Xbox, Xbox S, Xbox X, PS3, PS4, PS2, PS1, whatever console you want to watch me on your phone. Did I already say on your phone? On your smartphone, not just on your phone, because you could have a slider phone. You guys in the 90s know that. Slider phones, you can watch stuff. A lot of people didn't. Did I say tablet? Maybe Android tablet? Maybe iPad, haha. Apple products, yeah, we don't mention those in here. Anyway, guys, today I want to talk about the 737 MAX. So the 737 MAX airplane, everybody just think it's just ridiculous, like outright ridiculous, that people are, you know, we can't fly in it, it's terrible, it's crashed twice, and it was all because of a simple sensor. Now, it's not the pilot that's doing it wrong, which Boeing, the company that, you know, fabricates the airplanes. So there's two major companies that we're talking about right here. This is Airbus and Boeing. We're gonna leave Airbus alone because those are the two like head-to-head competitors. And well, I gotta say that Airbus has done pretty well. Their competition airplane is doing really well, and they've had like a lot of orders with it. Compared to Boeing with the 737 MAX, was it a success or was it a mess? I think it was more of a mess than a success. But, so what happened was, they took their old 737. It was an old, outdated design that they wanted to innovate on. So they decided, okay, so we're gonna put brand new engines on here. They're gonna be better, bigger, more fuel efficient, and they're gonna make the plane go faster overall. Okay, so what they did is they did just that. They put brand new, bigger, better, more fuel efficient engines on the plane. Well, so what's the issue with that, Fernando? Like, I mean, what gives? Well, so the issue was the wing was actually too low for the engines to even be put on the plane. And so, if you guys may not know, the wing of a plane is like this. It's not flat like this, it's, you know, a little angled like this. So, it's a little higher in the front, a little lower in the back, and that's just kind of how wings work because of aerodynamics and whatever. Because of aerodynamics and whatever, I'm not gonna get into specifics here of how aerodynamics work. If you want to know how they work, you can Google it. I'm not against anything. But yeah, so the problem was that they put the engine too far forward. So when they put the engine too far forward, what happened was they noticed a trend where, well, if they used those engines, those new, bigger, better, you know, more fuel efficient, faster engines, it would cause the plane to go from normal, like while it's flying in the air, to this, basically. And fly like this. And if you fly like this too often, more likely than not, it's gonna go down. It's called a stall. So a stall is when a plane doesn't get any more lift because the pressure on the bottom of the wing and the top of the wing equalizes, so the plane can literally drop like a rock. And you're like, Fernando, that's impossible, it's a freaking plane, it's 2019. Even if the plane doesn't have the engines running, it should, you know, glide. I would contrary to believe to those who believe that it would just drop like a rock, but in this case, yes, it would drop like a rock. Normally it would just glide, but if you lose lift, then it will drop like a rock. If you lose engines, but you don't lose lift, then you'll glide. So there's those two different scenarios, but that's what it is. Anyway, so it would stall. That's what it's called. Dropping like a rock, when it loses lift, it's called stalling. And so Boeing was aware of this. And this bothers me deeply as well. I'm a very aviation enthusiastic person, and I love to keeping up with a lot of the things from aviation that, you know, they make so many advances, and they already had autopilot, but they screwed it up royally. What happened is, well, they noticed that it was doing just that. It was flying upward, and the pilots were never told that there was this system. It's called the MCAS system, okay? MCAS system. I don't remember what it's called, what the letters actually stand for. You can look it up in Google what they mean. I don't remember. But it's this system essentially with one sensor. Now, if you've ever read anything about planes, you know that airplanes have plenty and plenty of backups. They usually have 2 or 3 backups for every single system that they have. If the fly-by-wire disappears, well, they got hydraulics. If they don't got hydraulics, they got mechanical. And so that's like three layers of backup system. Well, with this sensor, what they did is they just put a sensor that detects when the plane is either on either position or whatever angle the airplane is, and essentially with software, instead of actually like modifying the design of the airplane or the engineering of the airplane, they just put a software with a sensor that would tell the airplane whether it was, you know, flying straight, flying down, or flying up. So when it was flying up, what it would do is force the nose of the plane down, so that with the bigger, better engines, it would be able to fly normal. Well, the sensor malfunctioned in well over 200 planes that Boeing manufactured, and they were not aware of it. And well, the pilots in any I watched a documentary with American Airlines pilots and United Airlines pilots and Delta Airline pilots, and none of them, or any airline around the world for that matter, were aware that there was such a system in the plane. So, I mean, this is ridiculous for now. How could this even be possible? Well, so the premise of revamping the 737 MAX was to, or their biggest claim was that you wouldn't have to run all pilots of the 737 through simulations again, or simulators. And well, since you don't have to run them through simulators, it's faster, it's quicker, it can make airlines money much better, it can travel longer distances, it's all awesome, it's all great. Well, until the pilots were not aware of a system that ended up killing over 400 people on 2 different planes. And one of the things that really blows my mind is that Boeing pointed fingers to the airlines when even Ethiopian Airlines are number 2, or rated number 2, the most or the safest airline in the world. And that's a pretty big claim to hold when you're in an airline, or when you're at an airline company. So it was very surprising to me that Boeing would just point fingers. Anyway, so they found out that all the airlines were basically rallying up against Boeing, and they said, no, our pilots did not make a mistake, you made a mistake, and you need to inform everybody of what is going on. And so Boeing effectively, like I just mentioned, they said now that they did put in a sensor called the MCAS system, and that the sensor malfunctioned, and that's what it was. So, I mean, you're wondering, how could they even get rid of, you know, or even fly or deliver all these planes with the FAA in place? Well, turns out they're basically best friends, Boeing and the FAA, and they just, the FAA rushed their engineers to certify the plane to fly. And so basically Boeing certified their own plane. There wasn't real in-depth inspection like with any other aircraft manufacturer or anything like that. So yeah, Boeing basically certified their own plane, and that's how they were able to get away with it. Now, they claim it was just a software issue on there, but me as a developer, a software issue is very easy to fix. And I mean, a software should be tested time and time and time and time again. And I know they do test flights before they fly any plane. And according to all these documentaries that I've watched, well, they ignored a lot of those issues. Now the other thing, the other side of this was, well, there's two more sides of this story. So another thing is, there's supposed to be an indicator light that tells you, or that it tells the pilot, like when the MCAS system is failing. You know, I don't even care if it's, I don't know what the light would look like, if it's like a blinking red light, or if it's a yellow light, or yellow to red light. I don't know what that light would look like. But Boeing made it a premium feature, although it's a safety feature. So you're wondering, what the hell? Why would Boeing made a safety feature a premium feature? Like, they're known for their safety, so why would they do such a thing? Which is why they're like basically best friends with the FAA. Well, just because they want to make more money. That's the cruel reality of it, and I mean, they just wanted to make more money. Whether you like it or not, that's just like the reality of it. And so, I mean, there wasn't much to do with it. Now the other thing is, the simulators that had the 737 MAX built into them did not have this MCAS system built into them. So I mean, none of these issues where the nose of the plane would just drop to 45 degrees, which if you are a pilot, you know that 45 degree dive is a significant dive that you may not be able to pull out of. And the two planes that crashed, the two 737 MAX planes that crashed, effectively did not make it. Yeah, they effectively did not make it to, yeah, they didn't make it. They crashed, they burned, they broke apart because of the MCAS system and the software update that was not there, that apparently now there is, and American Airlines is trying to convince their customers that it is now safe to fly on that plane, and there is no issues with it anymore. But yeah, so the MCAS system was not even built into the simulators where the pilots would train. So I mean, how could you train a pilot without the proper equipment or the proper systems on the simulator of the plane? You can't drive a car without having a gas pedal and just having it autonomously just accelerate for you with a cruise control. No, you gotta have like manual backup of it, and you gotta know how to use it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but that's just what it is. Anyway, guys, so that was the third side of the story with the simulator. And so all pilots and everyone was very disappointed until Boeing finally said, yes, okay, finally. Yeah, I mean, sure, we'll give an explanation. Yes, it was us. Yes, I mean, we did put the system in here. We didn't tell anybody. We did have this as a premium safety feature because we want. Well, they didn't say because they wanted to make money, but I mean, hello. I mean, yeah, that's the premise of it. And so now they pushed a software update, and at the Paris Air Show, which was 2 weeks ago, I want to say. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. They weren't even able to fly their plane because of software updates happening at the time. So they're hoping to have their maiden flight late or later this year, past obviously the Paris Air Show, and we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Anyway, guys, I know I have been rambling and I have been giving you, you know, the full backstory of why the plane didn't fly. Or why the plane didn't behave the way it was supposed to behave in the first place. And that's all I got to say for you guys today. I hope you have a great day. Fernando, out!